Hello. My name is Alex, and I have a lot of things to explain, I think. And I have some books to place. So today, we're gonna be multitasking because I have to do this, and I figured it would be kind of boring if I just stood here and was like yada 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 yada. So I'm gonna be putting books on my makeshift shelf and I'm gonna be talking to the camera. Before I do that, I'm just gonna explain really quick. I promise I'll go more into depth to this, but basically what's happening is I'm currently in the UK. I'm working on going back to university. If you didn't know, I go to university in Bath, but I lived in Washington State in the United States, so obviously, you know, that's a big difference. And because of coronavirus, I have to quarantine when I come into the UK because nobody likes America right now. I get it. I don't even like America. So I'm basically stuck in this room for 2 weeks. I can go downstairs to get like food deliveries and stuff because I can't just not eat for 2 weeks. I would die. But other than that, all I'm gonna be doing is going insane in these four walls. But I'm going insane in these four walls by myself instead of with my family, which would make me go even more insane. So I feel like we're in a win-win situation here. And now I'm cold. I know that I have a lot more than that to explain, but like I said, books and explanations. So give me a sec, I have to go grab the books I need to put on the shelf. Also, my room is a mess, so that's not really helping. Also, I'm not sure how to like show you guys the shelf because I know that right now you can only see like these books right here, but the shelf is in front of a window. So when I face it towards the window, you can barely see anything. So I'm kind of like gonna like tilt it. I don't know. You'll find out, I guess. It'll be a fun adventure for us to go on together. Also, I have a lot of books. Carrying these books to this house was such a bitch. I almost died, but I didn't. So, you know, progress. I feel like I'm really not explaining anything, and I have a feeling that not all these books are gonna fit on this shelf. But you know what? We're gonna go with it. You guys are probably like, oh my god, why are you unpacking your stuff if you're just gonna have to repack it again in 2 weeks? And like, yeah, if I was traveling like I normally am and like was out of this room 90% of my day, like that I wasn't sleeping, yeah, I wouldn't unpack at all. I would just sort of carefully arrange my bags. But like I said, I'm in this room for 2 weeks. So even though it's not that long, I still kind of want it to be homey. I've been living out of a suitcase since July. All I want right now is some stability in my life, and so I feel like organizing my books and my clothes eventually, but like you guys don't want to see that. You don't have to see that. Just like nicely, it's just gonna make me like feel more secure and stuff and like happier for the next 2 weeks. Happier is the goal right now. Did I get all the books out of this suitcase? Yes. Now onto the other suitcase. So, I finally have all of the books that I brought with me. And I think that the plan is going to be to prop up upright. Can you, like this? My hardcovers and stack my paperbacks. That might change depending on how much I can actually fit on this windowsill, but that's the goal. The angle just changed drastically, and I'm still not sure if you can actually see me or the books because of the lighting. But like, we're gonna work with it, we're just gonna go with it. And I also need to talk. First thing I'm gonna do is organize my books by size, so I'm gonna make different stacks for the different sizes of books. And firstly, I guess for like the talking portion of this video, I have to talk. Who am I kidding? I love talking. Anyway, I should talk about my hair, because obviously that's like the biggest thing that you guys haven't seen yet. I finally cut my hair. I've been wanting to cut my hair, well, since like February. I had waited in February because I was doing dance at the time, and it's kind of hard to do a ballet bun when your hair is like this. This semester and like this year, they're just gonna have to deal with it, but last year it wouldn't have worked because like, you know, we already had everything figured out. Like I didn't want to make things more confusing, so I was just gonna leave it. And then the world all went to shit, and so I couldn't go to a hairstylist and actually get my hair cut. So I kept it long, but like I kept tying it back. Y'all didn't really see it much, but I really hated having my hair the length that I had it. As you guys know, I'm non-binary, and like I've been going through sort of an identity crisis. Not like in a bad way, just sort of in a like, what do I like about myself and what do I want to change sort of way compared to like, you know, the way that I was in high school and like for 18 years of my life. So that was sort of happening in quarantine. Love that for me. But one of the biggest changes I wanted to make was cutting my hair. Like I said, that had to pause because of a lot of things. But one of my friends actually cuts his own hair and like does his little sister's, who's also short. And so one day, just before, I was like after my parents had left and like my sister and I were living in our house together alone. And I just sort of texted him and I was like, I'm so done with my hair. Can you please just come over and chop it all off? And he was like, I mean, sure. So he just came over and chopped it all off. And yeah, he did a really good job for an amateur hairstylist because I know that like he does his family's hair and that's it. He doesn't do it professionally or anything. Why are these different heights? I hate that. But yeah, so that was probably a lot longer than it needed to be. But yeah, my hair is short now. And honestly, I might go back someday, but like at this point, no, because still having an identity crisis no matter how much I said that like it's kind of over, like. And then the house things. I feel like I touched on that a little bit, but like not really. So, okay, this is a lot longer story. Back in January, or maybe even earlier than January, my family's plan had been to take my sisters out of school for the first half of like the 2020-2021 school year and to have them travel around Europe. They were going to go to Greece and then rent a boat and sort of continue on in that vein. And when, you know, the world shut down, they like never really got rid of their plan. There was nothing I could really do about that, but like it wasn't my plan, so couldn't really say anything about it. Anyway, they decided that they were gonna postpone a little bit, but like still try and figure this out. And then it became not postpone, but do it even faster because of the way the US was reacting to the pandemic. Because my mom and my parents, well, my mom specifically, but my parents were just so fed up with the way the US was handling things. Quick thing. This satisfies me so much. It's not gonna look as good when I stack things on this side, but like just this is... I genuinely don't know how much this you can see, but like it's beautiful. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna alphabetize these. Giving myself more work. Love that for me. So they basically were just sort of like, yeah, fuck this, we're leaving. And they were gonna rent out the house, but they weren't gonna rent it out till September, and then the renters that they wanted to have in said they needed to come in August. So basically, by the end of July, we were like semi-homeless-ish. Like I said, it's a confusing situation. McLemore. Okay, and so, oh no, this one's shorter than all the others. Depressing. Anyway, basically, by the end of July, my parents took my little sister up to Canada because they were going to fly out of Canada until a lot of stuff happened. Not like world stuff, like personal stuff. And then my other sister, and I have two sisters, were going to stay in the US for a little longer to hang out with some people. But we were basically out of our house from the 8th of August on. That's why I haven't really been filming. Like, you guys have definitely noticed because I haven't posted a video since, I think, July. But that's kind of why it's kind of hard to film, because my sister and I ended up living in the same house as my aunt and my cousins. So that was kind of a lot of things, because their house is big, sure, but like there's still 6 of us in the house, and so it's very difficult to find a time when I'm not good with filming in front of other people or like around other people, so it's kind of hard to find a time when they're all not around. That was like basically didn't happen. And I was super stressed about how I was getting here, because obviously like the rules were changing every single day. They still are, but like I think it was worse actually back then. So it was like really stressful for me trying to figure out how I was going to get back here for university, and like how I was not going to just sort of abandon my little sister, because, you know, she's old enough to take care of herself, but also like HIJK. I would feel like an awful person if I just did that. So we were in my aunt's house for 2-ish weeks and before I left, but it was an odd 2-ish weeks, I gotta say. It was not my favorite. I just don't like being around a lot of people a lot of the time. This quarantine, man, like this one right now, I'm living for, because I hate being around a lot of people for like long periods of time. So just getting to be in my own space, people can't really disturb me, is just like heaven, honestly. Like I'm happy. Yeah. that's sort of what's been going on this whole month. That's sort of why I haven't been filming. I am going back to university at the end of September, and I'm not sure how that's gonna affect how much I like to film, but I'm hoping it won't affect it at all because university is not in person, so like it shouldn't affect that much, but you never know. And like I said, I'm also moving into my house with my flatmates in 2 weeks. 13 more days of quarantine! I don't know how that's gonna go with filming either because I don't really want to have to like explain to them because I feel like it's weird. Not that like being on YouTube is weird, I just don't like, I don't know. Being like, oh my god, I'm a YouTuber is like, okay. Just don't want to have to explain anything. But I'm hoping that especially once the university hopefully reopens, we will all get into our own schedules and there'll be times I can find when the house is empty or close to empty when I am comfortable filming. I'm just gonna have to put this in here and make it look sad. There we go. That actually looks pretty good. I thought it wasn't going to look that great. My battery's about to die, but I just finished this, and I think that that was all I was going to talk about. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked my books, and I'll see you next time.